Yeah, you're welcome to the Movement Radio for another brand new edition of today's episode. And our last episode was such a blast. We enjoyed it thoroughly. And I hope to as many as those that have played it back and to as many as those that have enjoyed the replay broadcast yesterday, you can attest to this. And here we are again, bringing another fresh edition to you for your listening pleasure, and not just your listening pleasure this time around, for you to take action, because everything being discussed here are action points that we need to make use of. All right. They are what should be applicable. This is not supposed to be just talk heads talking and there's no impact. All right. There's no point listening to you know very substantial, rich content like this without applying the contents of it. So we appreciate as many as those that have been joining us, that have been applying what we have been saying here. We appreciate those that have been sharing the Movement Radio platform with the members of their families, their sphere of influence, sharing on WhatsApp status and all of these things. We thank you so very much. And here we are again, firing on all cylinders, because we want this to be a very participatory broadcast. All right. It has to be a two-way discussion, dialogue between ourselves and your side of things. All right. We are very much, um, you know, conscious of the feedback that we are going to get from you. So thank you so very much for joining us. We are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok, and not TikTok, but X platforms. So check us out. We used to be on TikTok, but our producer is not around today. We'll miss him dearly in the last broadcast, and we'll most likely miss him again today. So I pass the mic to our correspondent in Abuja to for his opening remarks.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. This is Abdullah Salisu Aliyu, your movement radio correspondent here in Abuja. And we welcome you again to another interesting episode, to another interesting package. Today is not going to be any different. This is the movement radio, the voice of liberation, where we talk about issues that you won't get it anywhere, only on the movement radio. And the movement radio is always advocating that it's not a one-way flow, but it's a collective responsibility, whereby all of us have to contribute, have to do our part. We thank you for your loyalty. We thank you for your consistency. As you come again and you keep listening, you subscribe, you like, you share, call one, you tell one, you invite more, so we can do the work together. So movement radio is the work of everybody. We always say it's a collective responsibility because movement radio, what we are doing is a Nigerian project. A Nigerian project is not the only responsibility, it's not the sole responsibility of the movement radio. It's the responsibility of all of us Nigerians and friends of Nigeria. Whether you are in Nigeria or you are abroad, it's your own responsibility. Contribute your quota so that history can vindicate you in one way or the other, and you will bequeath a country that you'll be proud of to your children or your grandchildren. So that when your children or your grandchildren ask you, what have you contributed to the betterment of Nigeria? For Nigeria to be a good country, for the system to work for everybody, you will have what to tell them. Not just tell them, me too, I sit down and watch. Don't sit down and watch. Do your own part, contribute your own part. Movement Radio is doing it, so let's come in, share our opinion, contribute our own opinion in one way or the other. One day, one time, we will get it right. Nigeria is our collective home. We can all put our hand together to make sure that the roof that is about to be blown, or the roof that is leaking, or the damaged zinc, or the almost collapsing building can be rescued. So thank you, thank you. This is Movement Radio, the voice of liberation. We look forward for your contribution, your comment across all the social media platforms, be it Twitch, X, Facebook, YouTube. You can drop your comment. We'll do well to like to hear your voice via our X audio space where you pick up the mic and you make your contribution.
Where you pick up the mic
So this is Movement Radio. Back to Lagos for us to continue. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much indeed. I was just kicked out, but I am back into the studio. So sorry about that. It's network, and of course, network can kick me out at any point in time. So I know you are up to the task to just readjust as needed. So
No,
yes,
no problem.
yeah. So we are for a very serious article today. What is government for? That is the title of our article, and this is an article that was written by one of us, yours truly, Abdullahi Salisu Aliyu, and I would pass the mic back to him to do the reading, and of course after that we'll do the summary. Then of course we do the mind map to break them for pieces for our Obodo pidgin language people. So let's get going. Commander Aliyu, please proceed.
Okay, thank you. What is government for? That's the title of the article. What is government for? Nigeria's broken contract, the cost of national silence. Sorry, the cost of nation silence. An advocacy essay on governance, accountability, and the Nigerian social contract by Abdullahi Salisu Aliyu. There is a question every government on earth exists to answer. It is not a complicated one. What is a government actually for? Strip away the flags, the anthems, and the motto cards, and the acronym of agencies with impressive names and empty mandates. And the answer that remains is old and simple. A government exists to organize collective life so that ordinary people can eat, work, learn, heal, move safely, and sleep without fear. That is the whole of the bargain. It is the price citizens pay in taxes, sorry, in obedience to law, in patience through hardship, in exchange for a state that keeps its side of the deal. In Nigeria today, the bargain is broken, and it has been broken for so long that many citizens have stopped noticing the sound of its breaking. This essay, this essay is not an attack on any individual administration, office holders, or political parties. It is a challenge to a system, one that has survived successive government of different names, different regions, different promises, and produced decades after decades. The same national outcomes. A citizen that works harder than almost any other in the continent and receives less from its state than almost any other in return. If the same failure persists, no matter who occupies the seats of power, then the problem is not simply who governs. It is how power itself has been organized, insulated, and permitted to operate without consequence. A government that cannot deliver the basics has not merely underperformed, it has quietly cancelled the contract it was elected to honor. The bargain measure against the record. Government are not judged by their intentions. They are judged by their delivery and the record drawn from the country's own statistical institutions and from the world's most credible development and human rights bodies tells a story that no press release can soften. Power and energy. Nigeria has more people without access to electricity than any country on earth. 86.8 million citizens living without power. The third consecutive year, the nation has held hard that unwanted destination. Source: the World Bank, tracking SDG 7, the Energy Progress Report 2025. A nation that cannot light its own homes, cannot industrialize, cannot keep a small business alive past sunset, and cannot ask its young people to compete in the digital world running on generator films at a cost few households can sustain jobs and a wasted generation. The State of Nigerian Youth Report 2025 found out that more than half of the country's young population, an estimated 80 million young Nigerians, remain without jobs. Roughly 1.7 million graduates have left Nigerian university or polytechnics every year into an economy with no capacity to absorb them. Sources: State of Nigerian Youth Report 2025, Plan International Nigeria and Action Aid Nigeria, presented to the House of Representatives Committee on Youth. An economy that trains its young mind for a decade and then has nowhere, no place for them is not building a future. It is manufacturing frustration, and frustration left unaddressed does not stay peaceful forever. Education abandoned. Nigeria has the largest number of out of school children in the world, an estimated over 18.3 million children, according to UNICEF, with million more affected as insecurity forced schools closure across the country. The federal government education budget allocation fell in 2026, moving further away from the UNESCO benchmark of 15 to 20% of public expenditure. Source: UNICEF Nigeria, UNESCO SDG 4 financing benchmark. Insecurity and the collapse of the state first duty. Human Rights Watch World Report 2026 documented nearly 3,000 people kidnapped in northwest Nigeria alone between July 2024 and June 2025, over 60% of all reported kidnapping nationwide. Amnesty International has documented thousands of unlawful killings in the southeast between 2021 and 2024, alongside mass killing in Plateau, Benue, Katsina, and Zamfara State, and the internally displaced of hundreds of thousands of fled armed attacks. Sources: Human Rights Watch, World Report 2026, Amnesty International, A Decade of Impunity 2025, and related reporting. The first duty of any state is the protection of life. When citizens are kidnapped for ransom on federal highway, when the entire village are sacked and occupied by armed groups, and when communities can no longer travel to their own ancestral home for fear of attacks, the state has failed at one task that justify its existence before all others: poverty, hunger, and the widening gap. According to Nigerian National Bureau of Statistics, 133 million Nigerians, 63% of the population, are multidimensionally poor, driven of health, education, or an acceptable standard of living. The World Bank report that extreme poverty rose from 34.7% in 2018-2019 to 41.8% in 2022-2023, with poverty in the northern zone reaching 57.4%. An estimated 30.6 million Nigerians face acute food and nutrition insecurity during the 2025 rain season, the highest number of food insecurity people recorded anywhere in the world. Sources: National Bureau of Statistics, Nigerian Malnutritional Poverty Index, World Bank, Nigerian Poverty and Equality Brief, October 2025. UN Food and Agricultural Organization. Water, shelter, and basic dignity. The Nigerian Bureau of Statistics own multidimensional poverty index report high national deprivation in sanitation, time to reach healthcare, food security, and housing quality. Deprivation concentrated most heavily in the north, where 65% of the country's poor lives. Source is National Bureau of Statistics, Nigerian Multidimensional Poverty Index report. A system, not a season. Notice what this fact taken together actually proves. They are not the record of one bad administration that can be voted out and replaced with relief. They are the accumulated result of successive government, military and civilian, one party and another, one region of a country and another, each arriving with new slogan and departing having moved and the needle only at the margin, if at all. That consistency is itself the evidence. A single government can fail its people, only a system can fail them this completely and this repeatedly for this long. The uncomfortable truth is that the system has not failed to work. It works exactly as it has been built to work for a narrow cycle able to insulate itself to isolate itself from the very deprivation it presides over, while the machinery of accountability that should connect citizens to government, budget to outcome, and promise to delivery remains deliberately weak. Public office in Nigeria has too often become a route to private accumulation rather than public service. And until that structural incentives change, no individual occupant of power, however well intentioned, can be expected to produce a different result. The silence that enables it. But a government does not fail in a vacuum. It fails within a society, and a society that stops asking questions gives permission by its silence. This is the harder, less comfortable half of the argument, and it must be made plainly. A Nigerian citizen has too often become a co author of the very governance failure they suffer under. The public office holders divert what belongs to the public, and the public responds with resigned jokes rather than demand for account. When elections are reduced to transactions measured in the price of the bag of rice rather than a decade of consequence, when the citizen directs more energy toward ethnic and religious suspicion of one another than toward the officials who serve every community equally, regardless of tribe or faith, the silence stops being a symptom of oppression and becomes in part a form of consent. A people who will not ask what their government owes them will keep receiving exactly what they have settled for. This is not victim blaming. The asymmetry of power become arts ordinary and ordinary citizens, and the machinery of the state is real. And the risk of speaking out in Nigeria in intimidation, arrest, and worse, as credible human rights organizations continue to document it at real. But rights that are never asserted have a way of quietly disappearing. And a citizenry that has been trained into fatigue, distraction, and division is precisely the citizenry that allow a broken bargain to remain unbroken. What every sound mind must now ask, is it time to return the question who were
It is time to return.
but as a standing demand every Nigerian of conscience put to every office holder? at every level without exception. If you cannot keep the light on, what exactly are you governing? If you cannot create room for 80 million idle young citizen, what future are you preparing for the nation that trusted you with its resources? If a child cannot walk safely to school and a school cannot stay open for a year of attack, open for fear of attack, what does citizenship means for for that child? Sorry, let me repeat the question. If a child cannot walk safely to school and a school cannot stay open for fear of attack, what does citizenship means for that child? If a farmer cannot till the land without fear of being kidnapped or killed, and the nation consequently lead the world in hunger, what has security spending actually purchases? If justice arrives only for those who can pay for it, and impunity is the daily experience of the poor, what is the law actually protecting? These are not abstract questions for a seminar room. They are the terms of contract that has been violated in full view year after year, and they deserve answers. Demand loudly, persistently, and collectively, not whispered once every 4 years at the ballot box and abandoned, reclaiming the bargain and other subheading. Fixing this is not primarily a matter of finding better individual to occupy the office. Or to occupy the same broken office. Though character in leadership matters, it is a matter of rebuilding the structure that forced any office holder, regardless of personal virtue, to deliver or to lose their position and their liberty. That means budget transparent enough for a market trader to trace, a enough, independent enough to convict the powerful as readily as the powerless. Se- Security architecture answerable to the communities it is meant to protect rather than to a political patron. And an electorate organized enough, informed enough, and courageous enough to make every single election an actual referendum on delivery. It also means Nigerians choosing deliberately and repeatedly to stop trading their collective power for handout, ethnic loyalty, or religious sentiment, and to start exercising its as owners of the state rather than supplicant before it. A government answers to whoever it fears losing power to. At the present, in a far too many instances, it does not fear its own citizens. That has to change, and only citizens sustained, organized, and unafraid can change it. Government is not a gift bestowed on the individual. It is a service that the people are owed. Until Nigeria governed that way, they will continue to be governed in this way. The facts assembled here are not opinions. They come from the country's own National Bureau of Statistics, from the World Bank, from the UNICEF, from Right Watch, and from Amnesty International, institution with no stake in Nigerian politics beyond an accurate accounting of what is actually happening to its people. What Nigeria do with this fact, whether they harden its apathy or sharpen into demand, will determine more about the next decade of the country that can. Sorry, I'm coming. What Nigeria do with this fact, whether they harden into apathy or sharpen into demand, will determine more about the next decade of this country than any single election, any single administration, or any single leader ever could. The question is the question this essay open with deserve to be asked again. This time not of government but of citizen, of every citizen reading it. If you will not ask what your government is for, who exactly do you expect to ask on your behalf? The question this essay open with deserve to be asked again. The question this essay open with deserves to be asked again. This time not of government, but of every citizen reading it. If you will not ask what your government is for, who exactly do you expect to ask on your behalf? So that's the last part of the article. And the question that is posed on all of us is, if you cannot ask your government what the government is for, then who will ask the question on your behalf? We wait for your contributions, we wait for your comment and to see what who do you think should ask the question if you are not asking the question, or if you are asking the question, or if you are not asking the question, what are you afraid of? What do you is your own responsibility to ask the questions. What is your government for? If it cannot provide that water, if it cannot provide shelter, if it cannot provide job, if it cannot provide your security, the most important thing on earth, if it security on both aspects, both your life, your properties, and food security as well. So then what's the government for? Ask this question and let's continue asking what is the government for. So thank you, my brother. You can continue with the summary, then we'll go into the mind map. Sorry.
Yes, thank you very much indeed, Mr. Abdullahi. You have done well to open the ground, all right? And I like the way we designed this our broadcast, because the program is designed to take us through it like the peripheral level, just the overview of the article of the day. Then, to as many as those that are just joining us would also not miss out because they would get the summary of it. Then, the mind map is also designed such that for those that did not get the overview and didn't are not able to get the summary, they
Overview.
would indeed
Yeah,
be privileged to have
definitely.
the mind map summarized. So it's a very well designed, bulletin for us to really engage with. So yes, let's proceed towards it. The summary of the article, and this article is very mind blowing. All right, Nigerians' broken system, broken social contract, and here is the summary. This essay, "What is Government For? Nigerians' Broken Contracts and the Cost of a Nation's Silence," by Abdullahi Salisu Aliyu, argues that the fundamental purpose of government is to organize collective life so that ordinary people can meet their basic needs to eat, work, learn, heal, move safely, and sleep without fear. This is the essence of the social contract, where citizens pay taxes and obey laws in exchange for the state fulfilling its end of the bargain. The author contends that in Nigeria, this contract is broken, not due to the failure of individual administrations, but due to a systemic issue in how power is organized and operates without consequence. The essay presents stark evidence from credible national and international institutions to illustrate this failure. All right? So let's proceed in the summary, shall we? Power and
Yes.
energy. Nigeria has the largest number of people without electricity globally. That is 86.8 million people, hindering industrialization and economic competitiveness. Number two, jobs and the wasted generation. Over half of Nigerians' youths, 80 million, are unemployed, with 1.7 million graduates entering an economy unable to absorb them, leading to widespread frustration. Then we have education abandoned. Nigeria has the largest and the highest number of out of school children worldwide, that is 18.3 million, exacerbated by insecurity and the government's education budget allocation falls far below UNESCO's benchmark. Then you have insecurity and the collapse of the state's first duty. Widespread kidnappings, unlawful killings, mass killings, and internal displacement demonstrate a fundamental failure in the state's primary responsibility to protect its citizens. Then we have poverty, hunger, and the widening gap. 63% of the population, that is 133 million people, is multidimensionally poor. Extreme poverty has risen significantly, and Nigeria faces the highest number of food insecure people globally. They will move to water, shelter, and basic dignity. High national deprivation in sanitation, healthcare access, food insecurity, and housing quality, particularly concentrated in the north, highlights a lack of basic dignity for a large segment of the population. The essay emphasizes that these are not isolated incidents, but the consistent outcome of successive governments, indicating a systemic problem. Public office has too often become a means for private accumulation rather than public service. Furthermore, the author points to the silence of the citizenry as a crucial factor enabling this failure. When citizens respond to corruption with resigned jokes rather than demands for accountability, and when elections are reduced to transactional exchanges, they become co-authors of their own suffering. While acknowledging the real risks of speaking out, the essay argues that rights not asserted disappear, and a fatigued, distracted, and divided populace allows the broken bargain to persist. The essay concludes by urging Nigerians to reclaim the bargain by, number one, demanding answers to fundamental questions about what the government is truly governing if it cannot provide basic services. Number two, rebuilding structures that ensure accountability, transparency, and independent judiciaries. Number three, organizing and informing the electorate to make elections true referendums on delivery. And the last one says choosing to exercise collective power as owners of the states rather than as supplicants. Ultimately, the essay asserts that government is a service owed to the people, not a gift. The future of Nigeria depends on its citizens' willingness to move beyond apathy and sharpen their demands for accountability. So that is the summary of that article. Once again, we are asking the question, what is government for? Do not forget to drop your comments. If you can pick up the mic, we would respond immediately. And if you drop your comment across all the platforms on X audio platform, on the platform on Facebook, the Movement Radio on Facebook, Alaba Ferreira on Facebook, and the Movement Radio on YouTube, Alaba Ferreira YouTube, then Twitch. Then we have also 2 video accounts on X. Drop your comments on any of these platforms, and we would see it live and direct in the studio here, and we would read it and respond to it if we can. So let's proceed in our bulletin for today. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We are proceeding to the mind map for our Obodo Nigeria people. We no understand all of the Oyinbo way they speak since morning. This segment of the program, Naim they designed to really expose and to break them down, to break them down into pieces of waiting they talk about since morning. All right. So, Mr. Abdullahi, can you
Yes,
start up the mind
yes.
map? Then we go the exchange them
Do
together like that. So proceed.
gradually, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Nigeria's broken social contract. My brother, my sisters will come to this one. This is the title of the article. That's waiting. We give the article. The name we will give the article. Say Nigeria's broken social contract. So that contract where Nigeria and the citizen don't sign. So it don't break for long time ago. And I waiting this article go to explain to all of us. See how it take break. First, what is government for? So this is a question. Please, sorry, can you please continue? Let me handle something, please.
Okay. Okay. So what is government for? Waiting government day for? Gone. Eh? Waiting government day for? I believe say you self on ourselves or don't ask that kind of question. Say waiting government day for. Have you never asked that kind of question before? Now, very important question where everybody they ask. And for Movement Radio Nigeria today, we also they ask that kind of question. Say waiting government day for. And for the mind map, all right, to organize collective life, na in government day for. And of course, enable citizens to eat, to work, to learn, to heal, to move safely, to sleep without fear. Make I come again, oh, because as we dey ask that question, I know say you dey tap your neighbor, say, wetin government dey for? Which kind mumu question be this? But tell us, wetin government dey for? You no fit tell us. Government na government. But for Movement Radio today, we get mandate to educate us, to break them down into pieces. Say government dey to enable you to chop. It is the work of the government to make sure, say, they call them food security, food sovereignty. Now, him that they call them to enable you to eat, to work. That is, government must facilitate, say, you get everything you do, where they make money for you. All right? To learn something. Maybe say, as the citizens of that country, you get skill, you don't learn something, or you did learn something. Maybe you are a student, or you are even an adult in tertiary school of university. All right? Abi you dey learn one kind trade. Government suppose facilitate, say, make in citizen they learn to heal. Now be say if you sick, government duty be say make you make sure say you heal, you recover from that sickness. One kind sickness do you, government suppose give you fighting chance. And I don't hear the video of the veteran Yoruba actor Ogogo, where be say in Pekin they cry, they come out say they no even see hospital where go treat their papa. And this one now, veteran Ogbonge actor wey dey act film for Yoruba industry, money dey but treatment no dey because hospital wey support treat am no dey Nigeria. And at this point in time, the thing done too late because the pikin talk say but the man no even get energy to even travel out of the country. Energy no dey for am. The government don fail am. No give am chance. Now, so I lose my own brother too, not quite long ago. After we don't spend so much money, there was no hospital to, we don't spend money finish. Now, all they know how to do is to bring money until we spend all our money finish. Sell my property. My brothers also, because we are 5 boys, we sold our properties. It turned us to beggar. That particular sickness turned me and my brothers to what? To beggars. Look at it. And of course, even the go pikin talk and say, if not for one APC politician, therefore year when, and is that how a government supposed to work? Say make it they intervene, they give people money. What is money? Money is just paper. Where we don't give power. That is what is money. Money na paper where you don't give power. That is money. But so what should be the primary, focus? Na service. Waiting we can't use that paper do to provide services for the people. So that healthcare to give people fighting chance if you dey sick. Make the system take care of you. Nobody should be outpriced out of healthcare. Say you get money, no mean say your government should not take care of you. Say now for only people who get money na in government they treat. That one na tragedy. If you don't know.
That's the essence of government. The essence of government is to protect the weak. When you are not to protect the powerful, the government is meant to protect the weak, not the powerful at all.
Yes.
Because if government is protecting the powerful, then it means there is no essence of government.
Yes. So also to move safely, to move freely and safely from one place to another, from point A to point B, you feel move. That is transportation name Oyinbo people they call them. Big Oyinbo them. Transportation. You feel move from point A to point B. Make I tell you one thing. In the early 60s to late 60s, we used to have a railway network where connect Lagos to Kano. Waiting now I mean be say the rail network they so sophisticated at that time that person wey dey for south fit connect to person wey dey for north. There is no such railway system again.
I can even from Lagos to Jos, from Port Harcourt to Jos. That time, because we grew up when even us that even grow up, where we don't grow up like small children. When we dey small, we can still remember when we used to go to railway in Jos. For anybody that know Jos, when we used to go to railway, that's where they used to drop all these orange. When they bring him in train, they will carry it, come there, they will drop it. Even all these Cotonou shoe, where they talk say Cotonou shoe, all these Sokohan shoes, Sokohan clothes, now there they will bring and drop out. Then you will go there. Like that time, the economy is moving, things are moving. But now, the only time, and that time, even when you dey around anybody we know the railway, to go to Abattoir in Jos, small children will go there. That's where they used to, when you will put your ear on the rail, then you will know if train is coming from far, because the vibration, you will notice it. That's how we used to do all these things. But now, it doesn't exist anymore. It's quite unfortunate.
Very, very unfortunate. Now MBC.
And now you cannot even move from your area to another area safely. You no go walk.
Very, very.
You are afraid of attack, phone snatchers. anything,
Hmm.
kidnapping, all sort of things in the economy, in the environment. That's why, and you are
Hmm.
saying you have government.
Hmm.
The government is not doing it. Function, please. You
Okay.
can
Now,
continue.
after so sleep without fear. Now, also part of the government duty. When you people they call them security of lives and property. Now, when you people call that one. All right. Make you sleep with your two eyes closed. No be say you go sleep. One of your eye they close, one of your eye they open. That one na abomination. Now im be say you no get government because now the thing wey government suppose do, it is dey part of their responsibility. E dey part of the social contract. If you no know, today is a day that you are going to know if you no know before. All right? If you no know before, now you know. Then you talk about the broken bargain. How the contract con dey break small small. All right, contract broken for too long. Maybe say you don tey with, and of course, you look at the example where I give you, the 1960s example of how things dey work for us before, but now things no work for us again, my brother. Things e no work. My Yoruba ancestors go talk say, "Eku ò ké bí eku, ẹyẹ ò ké bí ẹyẹ, ọmọ èèyàn ò fọhùn bí ọmọ èèyàn mọ́." That is, things are falling apart. Things are not the way they should be. All right, the bargain don dey broken for a long time. Citizens have stopped noticing. Sotey una no even notice am say things dey like this. Una no notice am, and na why we dey call am out. We dey to expose the thing, make una see wetin dey happen, just in case you no notice, abi just in case you no know say na the work of the government be this. Then systemic failure, not individual. The thing wey dey happen wey be say na system na im be the cause. No be say na individual, na all of us one by one. No be one by one problem. Na system wey suppose address some of these issue na im don break down. All right, we have problem is how power is organized. Yes, how power is organized from the top to even the grassroots. Because you have local government, all right, you have state government, you have federal government. So now all of these things, how they take arrange them. People wey dey mount some of these, elective offices and power, where power and decision is supposed to be taking place, insulated and operate without consequence. Yes, they protected. All of the people wey suppose, do the right thing, they are not doing the right thing because they operate in they have been insulated. Wetin you dey go through, no be wetin them dey go through. Suffer wey you dey suffer, no be the same suffer wey them dey suffer. Una suffering dey different. Shey you even know your local government council, your ward councillor, shey you sabi your ward councillor? Shey you sabi your chairman? Say you dey see am for your area. Say im dey come dey check you, say wetin dey happen for say wetin dey happen for area. Me, I'm your servant. Tell me what you are going through. Make I know wetin dey happen for where they put me put. Because they are insulated and operate without consequence. They just dey act without say nothing go happen. Wetin una wan do for me? If election time come, I go come bribe una money and rice and garri and beans, and you people will vote for me again. Now the same way they do with that, which is not supposed to be so. So, Mr. Abdullahi, would you continue?
Yes, let me take the next one.
Okay. So that is the next one. So please proceed.
Okay. So now we talk of
the things wey don dey happen, and now we are about to list the problem as e don gather body, e don too much. Now we dey talk about power and energy. That's the power and energy, how e dey take be in Nigeria now currently, how the problem take be in power and energy part now. Say in Nigeria, people wey reach 86.8 million people dey live without electricity. 86.8 million people, dey no get light for their area. Dey no get light, everything you, if you dey see light, many people no dey see am. And even for people wey dey talk say dey dey city, dem too the light dey somehow somehow. You no fit talk say e get stable electricity again. So this one what result to what? E don result to no industrialization. Companies no dey again, companies no dey operate. Even if dem operate, they have to provide their own energy, they have to provide their own electricity. And small small business, dey no dey move again. Person wey dey barb, e must get generator, e must get rechargeable clipper, e must get solar for im shop for him to be able to what? To do im work. Welder must get his dat one. Na where the problem dey o. Den the next problem, jobs and wasted generation. Job no dey, and we get generation wey we don turn to waste. That's over half of the young people in Nigeria. We get that's 80 million, because we say we get almost 160 something million young people in Nigeria. So now we get 80 million young Nigerians, they no get job o, they are jobless. They just dey roam about, they just dey waka waka, they go call you uncle, brother, daddy. They no get anything, they no get vibrant, very energetic, very brilliant, but dey go school o, but they no still get job. And 1.7 million graduate annually with no job. Every year, university o, polytechnic o, college of education o, if you total everything wey dey graduate, e dey reach 1.7 million people. And they dey come into the street, they dey come into the economy, and no job for them. How we go take do this one? This one, as they no get job o, e come produce frustration. They come dey vex, they go come dey do anyhow, they go come dey do things wey no suppose dey, things wey they no suppose do. Instead of them to help, instead of them to get job wey they go dey do, they no come get am again. So the next one, education abandon. That aspect of our education, that one too, they don abandon am. The government wey we get, they don abandon am. So now, largest number of out of school children globally. Nigeria get the highest number of children, people wey no go school, wey no out of school children, children wey no dey school, wey dey suppose dey school but they no dey school. This one we dey talk about those wey suppose dey school o, no those ones wey don pass school age. This one we get over 18.3 million children wey dey no enter school, they no dey go school. And what do you expect them to be in the future? What do you want them to do? Na question wey we suppose dey ask our government. This one say they no dey go school, wetin they go do? How they go take contribute to the economy? How will they help their life? How they will take help themselves? Insecurity force school closure. Insecurity, all this kidnapping, terrorism, banditry, and the rest. Some schools have to close in some part of the country. For anybody wey know Niger, Zamfara, Kaduna at some time, Katsina, they have to close school. Sokoto, Kebbi, they have to close school for some time because say insecurity. Anybody wey know Maiduguri also, know some local government up to today, schools no fully resume. Adamawa, that one we know. Taraba, Gombe, you know all those ones. Yobe. So those people wey no dey go school, they dey grow o. No be say they no dey grow. So how do you expect them? Person wey leave school for 2 years, 3 years, he no go back school. You expect say him go go back after everything don come back. They dey even build the school again. Na so far we suppose. Den failing education budget allocation. Into dis current 2026, dis 2026 wey we dey, even the government budget e go below wetin the oga kpatakpata which be UNESCO wey dey dey talk about, or UNICEF wey dey talk about how much we suppose put for our education. If dey put am as 15 to 20%, na im we suppose put in our education, but we no put am, far far less than dat. So now insecurity and state first duty. So now we dey talk about dat insecurity wey dey happen, and the first duty of the state which state suppose do. Nearly 3,000 kidnapped in the north between July 2024 and June 2025. Within 1 year, just one year like dis, between 2024 to 2025, 3,000 pipu dey don kidnap dem, just within 1 year. And dat one na the one wey dey official record o. So now, how many of dem dey don free? How much dey don pay? That's why na question wey we suppose ask. Dis pipu dey dey operate, where dey dey take the money? How dey dey take get things? How dey dey take get their supply? How dey dey take operate? 3,000 pipu now, and no be just one, no be three pipu o, no be 300 pipu, 3,000 pipu, one, two, three, up to 3,000 within 1 year. That's how deep dis problem don go. Den thousands of unlawful killing in southeast. Now in southeast, pipu go dey comot dey kill pipu, dey go say unknown government don kill pipu. My brother, my sister, is dat not the responsibility of the state to protect the pipu? Who dey do dis thing? Who are those unknown government? Dey no go fit know dem? Dey say dey no know dem, na pipu wey dey dey operate with gun, but dey no know dem. So we no fit know dem? Na ghost? Na spirit? And na for southeast o. Den mass killing and displacement in other states. Dis one, mass killing and displacement happen, dis one happen mostly for north central. Like dis one na north central, Plateau, Benue, before you know, you go hear say dey don enter village, dey don raid, dey don sack, dey don raid the village, dey don fire anyhow. The pipu either dey run leave the community, and dey don kill plenty pipu. And dey go tell you dey still dey do investigation. Up to now we no see report. Who and who dey don arrest? Who and who dey don punish? Who and who dey don use as a scapegoat? Still dey wait o. State fails at protecting of life. So all dis thing wey dey happen, at the end of the day, wetin we go talk? State don fail in its own responsibility o, because e no dey protect dat life of the pipu there. Na wetin we dey talk be dis. Because if 3,000 pipu be kidnapped in just north west, den thousands of unlawful killing in southeast, den mass killing within the north central. Dis one we go just go last talk am say government don fail in its own responsibility, because the first responsibility of every government is to protect life. Since you no dey protect dat life, so dat social contract don break o, kpang. No be today e break, e don dey break long ago. So next one, so now the next one is hunger and widening gap. Poverty, hunger and widening gap. So we dey talk about other problems now, as the social contract don break. 133 million poor pipu, multidimensionally poor. So now we get 133 million of Nigerian population dey dey poverty. No be only one aspect of poverty o, but in different aspect. Like e slap you from left, right, back and front. Na so all dis one dey. And dat one na 63% of Nigeria. e dey multidimensional poverty. That means food no dey o, shelter no dey o, water just to survive dey very strong, very hard. Then extreme poverty rules. Extreme poverty wey before dey talk say e dey 31, e dey 37. So between 2022 and 2023 e fly phew, from just before you know, from 31 e don reach 41, from 37 e reach 41, sorry, just in just 1 year period, 1 year or 2 years, poverty don go far. People no fit afford food, people no fit see food chop. Then 30.6 million faced acute food insecurity. That's almost 31 million Nigerians dey face lack of food. Food security means they no get food, food no dey their table. They have, even if they dey see the food na once in a while, they are not even sure say they go see am. Just like security dey how e dey. So because food again na another aspect of security wey you must get. Because if you dey hungry, you dey angry. You dey angry, you fit do anyhow. So that's another issue wey we dey talk about. Next one. So water, shelter and basic dignity. Now we dey talk about another one. After we don talk that one, now we dey talk about this one. High deprivation in sanitation, healthcare access, food and housing. So now there is very high, because if you walk the street now, sanitation talk, e no dey o, because those social workers wey before dey talk say they go carry make they dey clean street, make they dey do this, we don't know wetin happen o. All of a sudden everything disappear. And now access to healthcare, people to go hospital, get drugs, get treated, e no dey. Food, people no dey see am. Housing, house now, some people no get shelter, wetin they go sleep under. If rain come, their mind don dey cut. If sun too much, their mind don dey cut. They dey sleep under tree, some dey go primary schools. If the schools don close, na there they go take sleep. Some people, all the way they work for market, anyhow, na on top table they dey sleep. And this one na responsibility of government o, but government no dey do am. Then concentrate, all this poverty don concentrate for north. Na for north e too much. So my northern brothers, take action. Then a system, not a season. This one we are talking about, it's not just a period o. It's not be say na like Christmas season or na this year o, no be New Year season, no be Christmas season, no be rainy season, no be dry season. Na system, because e don dey happen. Government go come, government go go. No be one, this person go enter, this person go comot, this person go do, this tribe go do, this religion go do. E go still dey continue like that. E don dey gather. That's why we say accumulated result of successive government. This one na government wey don come go, come go, come go. The problem gather reach like this. No be one day, no be 2 day. Na e don tey e dey happen. So no be only one season, no be only 1 year, no be only one term of one president. E don gather. Na that's to tell you, no be individual, na system. Work for a narrow cycle. So this system no dey work for everybody. E dey work for few, small number of people. Na e dey benefit, no be everybody. And na dem still dey benefit for a long period of time. Oh, you too you dey benefit. How you dey take benefit? Your brother get access to medical care, your brother or your sister, anytime you get problem, you dey enter hospital. So if you are among those people wey dey benefit, is your neighbor benefiting? Is your entire community benefiting the same thing? Ask yourself. Then machinery of accountability is weak. People asking question is no longer there. Media wey suppose dey ask the question, they no dey ask. People wey suppose ask question, dey ask. You wey you suppose ask question, dey ask. Because what? You dey madly looking for what? Food. Madly looking for what? Shelter. Madly looking for your security. So your responsibility of asking question why this thing is not, no. Wetin government suppose do, you dey do am yourself. Wetin government suppose provide for you dey provide am for yourself. Instead of you now you pay person money make the person do the work for you, because you dey pay tax directly or indirectly, you no know you dey pay. Dat VAT wey you dey pay for pure water wey you buy, you dey pay tax. Dat biscuit wey you dey buy, you dey pay tax. A motor wey you enter, you dey pay tax. Know say you dey pay tax. Wetin dey use your tax do? Public office or private accumulation. So public office now, instead of it to be public service, now e don turn private accumulation o. Na just few people wey dey there na dem dey benefit. So now, silence that enables it. So the quiet wey you keep quiet, the close wey you close your mouth, question wey you no gree
Um,
answer,
make
how
I
you
take
take
make
make
I
you
take
keep
make,
your
make I take that one, make you rest. Maybe they take am one by one like that, so that you self go rest. E no
no
easy.
wahala,
No be you
e
destroy
no easy.
Nigeria, my brother. So make we
Yes.
make we make we take am easy. So society stops asking questions. That is, we are still talking about the silence. We allow all of these things they happen. Now because on our keep quiet. On our keep quiet for this kind issue. Wetin the thing they cause? Now all of these things where we dey talk about since morning. Society stops asking question. Now your duty to ask question on anything where they happen for your environment or for your society or for your government. Shey you even know say na your right to ask questions, because now from questions na you go get answers to wetin dey happen for your society. Citizens become co-actors of failure. Yes, as you know they ask questions, so na im be say you don't follow join them, they destroy the country. You are part of the failure, because what you are doing is that they give politicians free hand. They give politicians free hand to operate. All right, ask the right questions. Then resigned joke instead of demands. You don't turn everything to joke. Everything na yeye to you. Everything na just joke. And it is well. This country sakpa too much, yo. This country sakpa too much, yo. This country, omo. If you even see Gary chop, omo, you dey lucky, yo. Everybody go laugh. You go talk. That one goes, maybe you even see Gary. Maybe I don't see Gary chop, unka. And I go just laugh about it, and that will be the end. And that has been how we have been doing it for a long time. We joke about our problem. Something we suppose bring anger. We would rather want to transfer that anger on your neighbor. You rather want to transfer that anger on your junior brother or your wife or you go instead make you channel that anger. Say, it is not normal for me to be hungry and to keep eating malnourished food. Which nutrients they inside Gary? That pomo where they put for your food, waiting be the nutrient of pomo. You see, after they ask question now. Now the kind of question where you suppose they ask yourself, where they ask yourself be that. You resigned to jokes. Say, that pomo makes sense. So another person go be yourself, even though you see pomo they chop. Me, I know they chop anything. If you say now, they use ogbono, they chop rice. Say you don't use carrot take chop bread before. That one goes, that one na small thing now. Say you don't use indomie. You don't chop indomie raw before. You don't turn out to joke. What's supposed make you angry? Don't turn out to joke. All right. Elections. Wetin talk?
I say serious issue where we suppose take, because all
Eh,
those input junks where we dey think say we dey make am to joke, e get health implication in our system, but we dey laugh over it.
yes, we dey laugh over wetin dey destroy us, because when you are taking food wey no get nutrient, abi you dey combine food in a very weird way. You are combining food in a very weird combination. You dey eat bread and rice. Bread and rice, and you think it is funny. You think it is funny? You are affecting you dey damage your body, you no know. Why do you think we're having some of these illnesses that we are not having before? Cancer is not a black man thing. Cancer is not because of why? Now organic food we dey chop. Now as we dey plug the thing from on top tree, abi we dey uproot am from ground, na him we dey chop am. We no dey chop food wey dey store for inside agolo, wey dey store for inside tin, maybe or maybe dey put food wey dey put for inside nylon. Any food wey dey put inside nylon wey be say they go come process am, leave am on top shelf for 6 months before you buy am. That is dangerous for the body. We the African people, whatever we eat is fresh. Fresh. Our tomato now from fresh. Now we go pluck am, take cook. But now, you are now being sold tomato paste. You are being sold pepper paste. The other time, I see a video where we say the woman do exposition of this tomato paste. Say, there is difference between tomato concentrates and tomato flavor and the real tomato. There are two different. Now chemical we they take the cook. If the thing is not tomato, that is not tomato. Now chemical. So is it any wonder that we're not living long? Is it any wonder that we are having cancer and all of these illnesses? But we joke about it. We joke about it, and everybody just forget their sorrow. When something where they do us for inside body, they do us, and we don't see the result now. Almost every family now in that cancer, they take people, they go. So elections are as transaction, not consequences. Yes. Or now don't turn election to transaction. Nigerians, you have turned election to transaction, and it should not be so. Election should be about consequence. Say person no do well for office for 4 years, you comot am, put person wey go serve you, wey go do well. That is what election is supposed to be. Supposed to be for the best brains, for the person wey brilliant pass, person wey sabi book pass, person wey get better plan pass. That is what election is all about. I say, okay, this one I get better plan pass, may we vote for them. That is what election is talking about. Then ethnic, religious suspicion over officials. Yes, you now know how when they first look at candidates, whether or not him be Yoruba or him be Igbo or him be Hausa. You know, they see the video where they see for online. So maybe say people where they interview, if you interview this one, you go say, I am voting for this person because na Igbo man. You go interview this one, you go say, they vote for this person because na Yoruba man. You go interview this one, you go say, they vote for this person because na Hausa man. And then when you ask them why, what is that enough? And even the tragedy now is that even people where they up, someone like this current governor of Osun State, the dancing governor, they ask him, say why is he supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? The very first thing when he talk, be say now because Bola Ahmed Tinubu na Yoruba man. You can imagine from a governor, somebody that should be an example. Say, yeah, this is the reason why for this particular policy, for this particular program, for this particular achievement, for this particular That should be the essence of voting for anybody. Waiting he won't do and provide services to the people. Not say because he's a Yoruba man. So if somebody at the top like that is saying that, what do you expect person with the ground they say? The organizer, the tailor, the welders, they are hearing that kind of thing. You see why our people's mentality has been, so messed up because of these, characters in positions of power. Then the last one before I pass the mic back to Mr. Abdullahi, silence becomes a form of consent. Yeah, the silence will come be as you say, yes, you don't approve. Maybe they continue, they do their ojoro, they go. You they approve them, may they continue to they do their mago for election, they go. You have given them the go ahead to do anything they like with your resources, because you know if you ask question, you just stay silent. What a tragedy. We're passing the mic back to you, Mr. Abdullahi, to continue. After you take this session, I'll take the next session. You take the next, so we go so that you no go day boring. So let's go.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, you are very audible. You are audible.
Hello?
Yes, you are
Okay,
audible.
thank
You are
you.
audible.
Say now this one na solutions wey we go na solutions we go begin dey talk now. As we don talk about problem, we no just dey point problems, we dey provide solutions. And the solutions are one, okay, sorry. The core questions, that's where we are going now. We are going to the core questions. That's the main questions wey we suppose ask. We suppose ask ourselves, ask our leaders. Because this one na combine. We dey do am, them too they dey do their own part. We say if you can't keep lights on, what are you governing? So if now we cannot provide electricity, then what are you doing? What is your responsibility? If you can't create jobs, what are you what future are you preparing? If people no get job, then if you no dey provide job, what future are you preparing for this country? Is opposition action, because this question if you ask them, so then them too they will do the right thing. Then if children can go to school safely, what does citizenship means to these children? If children cannot go to school safely and return, then what does citizenship means for them? They might have different, because they go school, they go teach them citizenship is this, is this, is this, is this. They have to provide this, these are your rights, these are your duties. So if they go school, they see say they carry them. So does that mean citizen them they are not citizens? They know say they are not, because we are giving them contradiction. We are giving them things different to ask this question. If farmers can't farm without fear, what has security purchases? If farmers wey dey go farm, they know they go farm without fear, they dey fear say they go kidnap them or they will come something will happen for their farm, then what does security purchases? Wetin security provide? What security means to you? All the money wey you dey budget for security, wetin you buy? Then if justice is for sale, what is the law protecting? So if now justice, for you to get justice, you must spend your money. Na person wey get deep pocket na him dey get justice. So then what's the law for? You better tell us say law no dey o. If you get money na you go get wetin you need. If you no get money, you no go get wetin you need. So na where the issue dey. So let's move to the next one. You don ask the key four questions wey you suppose ask, wey you suppose do. Now we are going into the solutions. The building structures. That's where we dey go as the solution. The first one is what? Transparent budget.
Yes, yeah. Now
Let's
my turn.
have
Now my turn. Mika.
transparent.
Now my turn.
Yes,
Can you hear me? So, yo,
yes, we
if I
can
are
go
to
on.
continue, okay, thank you. So, rebuilding structures, you know, number one, say we want to something we don't break, 9% they rebuild. No be so. If something no break, you no go rebuild them. This my light don't work. If something no break, person no they no, you no feel rebuild them now. Now something we don't break, 9% they rebuild. So how do we now rebuild? How do we reconstruct this wahala we don't happen? So number one, now transparent budgets. Transparent waiting, transparent budget. That is made the budget, make it day, make all of us feel no waiting how much they use our money do, how much they budget for this one, how much they budget for agriculture, how much they budget for education, how much they budget for infrastructure, how much they budget for government workers as salary, how much they budget for science and technology and research. Because that one, another thing we be say, we know they pay attention to them. Research and technology. We say we go feel improve the quality of our life because everything we will do for this life now as a result of research and technology. If people not sit down, think about that problem and how to provide solution for waiting they happen. You know go like this way we do now. This we get system like a laptop, phone day. Now research they bring out all of these things. So now research well funded by government because now people wey go school go fit think say we want solve this problem based on the education, and education is funded by the government. What is the budget of the government on education? You have to ask that question. And what is the benchmark globally? You have to ask your government officials. Then number two is independent judiciary. Say your judges, say they dey on their own. Maybe say no politician they influence them. The revelation wey would they get for Nigerian judiciary no good at all. Wey politician go dey talk say in dey influence im wife wey be judge to favor politician when they come bring court case to our courts. You can imagine that kind of thing. That she dey manipulate her wife wey be judge to give judgment in favor of politician in this country, and it's on video. No prosecution, no judges face the music. Say, with the talk, say, your husband talk, say she dey use you to favor politician. No question. Everybody just move on. Everybody just move on as if nothing happened. Our judges are not independent. There's a particular judge where VDM use. Yes, we have to call name. VDM used the name of that judge very recently. That judge, very compromised judge. That judge should not be, as far as I'm concerned, based on the indictment on where that woman had as a judge, he should have resigned honorably a long time ago. But you have a system where we say there's no consequence culture. To the next point, accountable security architecture. That is, security supposed get, the willingness to give you waiting that they use your security. Like for instance, now, say say your governors they collect security votes every month. That they collect security votes in billions of naira, billions. Waiting that they use that security votes do. That is part of the accountability that you must ensure as a citizen. You have to make sure how much are they giving your governor as security votes. Waiting they use that money do. And are you getting the security Despite say your governor, they collect security votes. Thief, they enter your house, carry your generator, carry your better pass my neighbor. If they carry him, thief will go, you go park motor for outside. Thief will go commode the tire. They will commode the brain box. And you thought say you get security. That is not, that means the role, the whole essence of giving that security vote is defeated. That is, if they don't give that money, if for better, where they give that money, people just they pocket them for pocket. Because if you don't put them for your pocket, now be say you they use that money to provide security. And if people will not get security, now be say you they put the money for pocket. Now one out of the two. Because you cannot be say you have security and your properties are being stolen, your children are being kidnapped, and your governor they collect security votes. Does not make any sense. You have to hold them accountable to the security architecture, the preventive architecture, the containment architecture, and the response. Now, 3 level. You have to prevent that thing from happening in the first place, and you have to have a strategy to prevent it. Okay, let's now imagine, say, after your preventive strategy, the criminals still infiltrated and carry out the evil thing where they can't do. You have to have a containment strategy. Maybe say you go fit catch that criminal as they do that crime. That is, they contain the issue. And of course, if that one self no work, you have to have a response. Maybe say, if the criminal they go, you have a strategy that will contain, pursue the criminal and apprehend the criminal. But do we have any of those things for Nigeria? And waiting be the test. Waiting happen for your state. Maybe say that those bad people, make I not call their name because of the algorithm of we are live streaming. They enter school, that is, they break the preventive architecture. Because normally that school supposed to be secured by security agents. All of the forest that lead to the villages and communities should be secured by security agents. That is prevention. Before Ebelebe go enter the village, they supposed get resistance. That one failed finish. They carry the students and the teachers and the principal. Nothing to contain them, because after they don't carry those people go don't go report for police station, say, they don't carry our people go. They should be able to go after them immediately to contain. But that one said fail. So the criminals went away. No containment, then no response. And of course, those people, they spend 40 days. Over 40 days for inside forest. That is the testimony of how your security don't fail on all level. Prevention, containment, response, everything. You don't pafuka, and your governor, they collect billions upon billions of naira. That is what we are here to expose to you at the Movement Radio. Then the last one, all right, for this my own slot be organized, informed, courageous electorate. That is, people will suppose vote. If you are old enough to vote, you have to organize yourself. You have to fall in line with an organized political party wey represent wetin you want. And of course, that takes me to the next one, informed. How you want take know wetin you want if you are not informed? If you know, if the party no tell you wetin they want do, presidential candidate tell you say he no one tell you wetin he want do for office, and you dey clap for am. Then they ask your candidate question, say wetin he want do to solve electricity problem. In they tell you say he no go tell you, he no want explain, he no get any answer to the question. And you think say that thing makes sense. If that kind of person can't reach power finish, you can't wonder why the person no perform. That is, if you are informed, you go know say no be today in they do that thing. Look at how he has been answering questions in the last 2-3 months, in the last 3 years, because everything na pattern, and now for pattern you go know what is true. and it's from a place of information that you have access to that. Then courageous electorate, that is, you don't have to be loyal to anybody. You don't have to be loyal to anybody. Anybody will represent your interest. Now you go vote for. You are not blind. You are not following somebody and say, anything we him do, even if not bad, even if not good, now him I go vote for. Now him be say you no get courage. Everybody around me is going to vote for that person. You know, I think now only me go come say I no vote for that. Now him be say you dey fear. You are not courageous because others are voting for the person. Me say I go vote for them. That is, you are a sissy. You are not courageous. Say no problem. Even if now one go vote for that other person, we no good. Now na choice with that. And if that person win, me I go tell you say make you no vote for them because now the thing we go do be this. So me are the person wey me I won't vote for be this for these following reasons. So una go vote for una own. Me I go vote for my own. Now courage be that. You don't have to follow the crowd. What if the crowd is going to a destructive place? What if the crowd is heading to nowhere? You have to be courageous. And that leads us to the next one where my colleague in Abuja would take. All right. So that is it. Citizens' action. Please unmute your mic, sir, and proceed.
Yeah, thank you. So now citizen action. So now as citizen, this is our action, or this is action where we supposed take. We should stop what? Stop trading power for handout. We should not be collecting money for during election, and where we should not keep quiet because we don't collect money. We should not collect money for anything where they supposed to do for us. Road where they supposed construct, they should do it. Even if they come say they go share money, may keep quiet, no collect. Make them do the road. The road is more important. Electricity is more important. Your hospital is supposed to provide everything we supposed to be there. No collect money for your hospital to no function. No collect money for your school not to function. No collect money for anything. Do the right thing. Vote for the person. If election come, nobody say they go carry rice, nobody say they go carry money, can't give you. Yes, you dey hungry. Yes, we dey hungry. But if you collect that, you remember 4 years no be 4 hours. 4 days. 4 years no be 4 days. 4 years no be 4 weeks. 4 years no be 4 months. And can you even change them in that 4 years? Wetin they go do? You fit take 10 years amend am. Na wetin you suppose ask yourself. If you can endure a 1 day or a 1 week or a 1 month say money wey dey take induce you with, wey dey take give you say collect, if you can endure all those years of suffering, na 1 day or 1 hour or 1 week or 1 month you no fit endure. No be dem dey feed you before. Yes, we know say hunger dey, but don sell your vote. Vote for the right person. You within your community, you know the right person. You know the person wey if you do, e go help change the system. E go help make things work for all of us. We no tell you say this is the candidate, but you use your head and think. Movement radio is not partisan, so use your head. Check that right person wey you know say yes, this person go do am. Because governance is all about what? Delivery. Government wey you dey vote, na because him go do it for you. Na talk and do. No be talk and escape. No be say I no go talk. Na to talk and do. Then exercise power as honors, not supplicants. Look at this power wey you dey talk. People wey dey seat, wey dey government. If no be because of you, they no go dey there. To behave as if say you own them, no be say as people wey dey help you. Wey no be say na person wey you dey small. No. All the cars wey they dey drive, all the security wey dey protect them, if no be because of you, they no go get am. You are the owner. This country you are the owner, no be them owner. So then you fit make them say, make them understand say yes, you own the country. No be say you be supplicant wey you go just come, they go dey treat you anyhow. You own the country. You fit do wetin you wan do. Ask them the question. If you give person something, if na you own that thing, you go ask the question the way you suppose ask. Then the next one, government answer to who it fears losing power to. Sorry, can you shift it so that the complete sentence will come out? Government answer to who it fears losing power to. Okay, that's it. Government answer to who it fears losing power to. So now the government they fear because if you claim ownership, you say yes, I be the owner. So government go they fear you. You go fear you say, "Toh, yes, this person if you no do the right thing, these people if you no do the right thing, they go punish us." So behave like that. Now the last part.
All
Are
right,
you
the
taking
last
it?
part. Yes, may we share am two. May we share am two.
Or
May we share am two.
no?
So government is a service. To answer that question, wey we dey talk about since morning, say wetin government dey for? All right, government na for service, to provide qualitative service. That is what governments are for. To provide services to the people. That is what it is for. And let's take a look at it in terms of step by step. Make I take two in the mind map, and my colleague will take two. Not a gift bestowed. You are not doing them a favor by voting for. You are not doing anybody a favor by voting for anybody. Nobody say you won't give them gifts. You are asking them, you are empowering them so that they go feel serve you. They are public servants. They are not emperors. And you're not doing them a favor. All right? Government owed to no, they owe you explanation for everything. They owe you a favor. Now themselves they favor you. Don't be you, they favor them. Now them they favor you. Now, as a result of their service, now in you go benefit from. Not them. Them, they are serving you. They are just deriving joy in that service. And they derive joy in the fact that their names will be in the history. Say, okay, Mr. Abdullahi Salisu was a former governor of Taraba State. That is just the only thing. Mr. Ibukun was the former governor of Lagos State. That is all. Nobody say, because they can't get entitlement to the resources of the people. No. They're supposed to tell you, okay, as a result of the stewardship of Governor Abdullahi Salisu, the government was able to lift 10 million people out of poverty and, provide gainful employment across all households. It was able to provide 500,000 housing units for the poor to have access to housing. It was able to provide 1 million jobs for the youths. He was able to provide, support for microeconomic, people. We say people they sell something, he supports them. That is the whole essence. No be say person go enter government. You go come the thief people money in billion. You see the video of one video where they trend now of that former governor we go bury money. Plenty. The money don't even they spoil for where they bury him. And this is supposed to be a public servant. In the serve himself and in family. In the serve in friends. He no serve the people. by stealing the money of the people. A serious government will probe that thing, because not be only that money that man bury. There will be other properties where that man don't use people money to buy. You should be able to confiscate it and redistribute the money to the people. But as you just see that video, now for there the thing go end. Can you imagine? On serious generation. My colleague, Abeg, finish the remaining two.
Okay. Then the next one is facts from credible institutions. So all these figures what we don't call before, 18.3 million out of school children, 80 million youth, all these things no be our own, no be the movement radio or the writer quote am. No, na from credible institutions like the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, Transparency International, Amnesty International, the World Bank, the UNESCO, the UNICEF. Na all these institutions na dem provide this data, no be us, no be the writer. So you can go check am, go fact check from all their reports. Then the last one, citizen actions determine the future. So your action, my action, our action, na im go determine the future, wetin go happen in the future. So let's take action. And on Movement Radio, we want to see that your action. Put on your comment across all the social media platforms. Pick up the mic on the X audio space and contribute. Our action, my action, your action will determine what will happen in the future. If we keep quiet, the thing will continue. That means we don't accept. As we don't talk am, silent is what? Consent. That's approval. We don't approve, make the thing dey continue like this. But if we no approve, we no agree say make e continue like this, we have to talk, we have to speak out. That's the issue. So my brother, my sister, that's the article from that's the first article. And now we'll play some videos if necessary from our, then you see what is happening. Then before we go to the next article.
Yes, make we play one particular video wey dey here before we go to the next article. This video, make I read wetin the video talk. And this is by Emir Saddam Show. He talks, say, an open letter to the Nigerian celebrities. For many of you, as electioneering campaigns have opened, it is another cash out season. It is in this particular campaign, you will face the highest level of resistance ever. You won't use your good days to support bad governance. And in your last days, solicit help from the public. Our nation is sinking, and you guys are huge enablers of the destroying of those destroying it. You would be disrespected. Those days of enabling criminals are gone. Tag them accordingly. And of course, this is a video. I spoke about a particular actor, a veteran in the Yoruba film industry, Taiwo Hassan. Ogogo is a popular name. This man is known by tens of millions of people, all right, in the Yoruba side of things. But here he is campaigning for APC. And what he said during this campaign is very, very important. It exposes the inner workings of the minds of some of these popular figures. Ask any Yoruba person about Ogogo, and they will tell you they know exactly who you are talking about. This particular person that I'm showing you, that individual at the top left corner of that video section that wears the Emilokon cap with a Shane logo. Because that logo is not is a chain. That is a chain. You are holding people captive. But people don't know say that the meaning of that thing be that. That logo. Now chain, that thing mean handcuff. You handcuff people emotionally. But people have not yet to decode it. This particular actor is a very popular actor. But here he was, before this sickness. And most likely he must have been sick even when he was here. You know, because for cancer to progress from stage 1 to stage 4, you know, say there's supposed to be a detecting mechanism. Again, our health care system has collapsed because you have to have a detection, they call it diagnosis, a diagnosis strategy. Your system should be able to detect illness on time because you have to facilitate citizens going for checkup on time. But that one, no day. And it's very, very unfortunate. And here he is campaigning for APC. This is not about discouraging anybody from campaigning for whoever they want to campaign for. But the fact remains that what is the substance of your campaign? Hope is not going to bite you in the back. Let's play the video before we move to the article, and let's see if we have more time. Yeah, I believe we should. So let's go to the video straight up. Okay.
Come again, and this time a message to you, dear Nigerian celebrities. I've come again, and this time I bring a message to you guys based off a video I just saw. And we're in the campaign season, and for many of you guys, it is cash out season where you guys are going to make good money for yourselves, right? But you guys forget something very important, that at the end of politics, there's governance. Now, for whatever you cash out now might not necessarily last you for the next 3-4 years. And back to back Nigerians, we have watched Nigerian celebrities. You guys have not been politicians, become foot soldiers for them, sell them, campaign for them. Then in your last days on earth, probably you guys have been inflicted one element or the other. You guys are remember Nigerians. But let's watch this video. Let me put this in context, please.
Impossible sí lọ́rọ̀ tálákàn ọ̀rọ̀ kò wọ́kò tẹ̀rí lójú alákàn bíi bàbá gbẹ́múdá bá bójú ẹ̀yìn afẹ́ kò fẹ́lẹ́ pé gbọ́sọ̀ lọ́ba ẹnikẹ́ gbọ́sọ̀.
Let's watch the next one.
Hello everybody, good evening.
I want to speak about that particular statement. That statement that he was saying about Oro. Let me play it again so that I will not quote it out of context. All right, let me not quote the out of context.
It's on earth. Probably you guys have been inflicted one.
You see, he said impossible. There is no impossibility with Akombi, referring to President Tinubu, suggesting that the man is, there's no way you can stop him. You see how they turn these people to emperors. These are the people that turn them to, because when you have people praising you and turning you to a god like this, how do you also feel like a god? You feel as though there's nothing you cannot do in this world. All thanks to praise singers. This is the man that is now very sick with stage 4 cancer. Praising Tinubu that there's nothing he cannot do. All power belongs to him. And
Yeah,
when it
they're
comes
making them to be demigods.
Thank you. They are making these politicians demigods. They are making them like they elevate them. They put them on a pedestal. They elevate their status to the godlike status. Say impossibility. No, who tells you in an election that a sitting governor is a president? I don't even like using that word. A sitting governor, sitting president. Should he be standing? What do you mean by a sitting governor? A sitting president? All right, a president that have served for one term can be voted out by the people. That is a possibility. But here is this popular individual that I said, this man commands the influence of millions of Yoruba people. There's no Yoruba family that doesn't know this man called Ogogo. Very, very extremely popular, and he has been acting since the early 80s. This man. So he's elevating Tinubu to a god. There is nothing. There's as an elite of that status. You have built your career such that people know you to this degree. You are still not able to say the truth that, well, I am supporting Tinubu. I believe others have the right to vote, and if he's not as popular as he claimed to be, or perhaps he have not served the people have the right to vote him out of office. That should be your position as an elite. You should give people the power. And of course, as you are using your influence to campaign for Tinubu, is also that you are basically validating whatever he has done in office. You are impressed. So the next question will now be, on what ground are you impressed of that man's performance? Is it because of your own private, pockets? Because if you endorse him, that will mean automatic money going into your pocket, or for the welfare of the people. And for a veteran like you that have attained that status, what else do you need? What else? Why should you still be worshiping money at that level? You have been a theater actor for at least 40 years. You have gained prominence. You are already at that stage. You should be at the top of Maslow hierarchy of needs. It should not be about money for you again. But here you are, genuflecting. You are still, let me not use some words or some language. And it's quite unfortunate. So I want to break that down, what is said, that is saying that impossibility no day. That how dare you? You are basically crippling the power of the people. And it's supposed not to be so. It's not supposed to be so. That's another thing that he said. He said there's a particular belief in Yoruba language that because a goat offends a lot. A goat, they will destroy things. They would goats are immense.
They'll enter, throw away your garden.
Throw away anything. That is the nature of goats. They are very stubborn and very destructive. So in the Yoruba kind of settings or belief, they believe that after the goat have scattered everything or wreak havoc, if you now begin to place curse on that goat, that curse will not affect the goat. That is, if the goat look back, he go carry the curse where he curse him, he go carry and give you. That no mean say no go do anything he won't do again next time. That is the meaning of what this man is saying. That if a goat commits atrocity and destroys everywhere, that is, if Tinubu, even if he has destroyed the country, whatever cost that people are placing on him will never work on him. Just like the figurative description of a goat. You can see the elite that you have in your country, Mr. Abdullahi.
Yes, when I look at artists and celebrities of his status or close to his status, like aligning themselves with the system that impoverish almost all of us and make us incapacitated and weak. When they're aligning with them, one thing that makes me to always wonder is that what are these people looking for? But at the end of the day, it boils down to the system. How do they take to get to where they are? Then, because it questions to their process of getting to where they are. And it also looks that they don't understand power of the people, because most of what they are doing at the end of the day is telling the people that you are of no relevance. All what we are doing it for our own selfish gain. So the people should also understand that all these celebrities, all these artists, whatever they are going to say, don't just listen to them and take everything hook, line, and sinker. You have to listen to them with critical mind. What are they doing? Is what they are doing beneficial to all of us? Are they trying to save the country? Are they trying to fix things? If not, then it means they are doing it for their own interest. And he should also remember what he is saying and what he is doing is the people that took him to where he is. He didn't do it himself. The people that are watching him, the people that spend their money to go to where he is, are the people that make him to be where he is. If today the people turn around from him, they said, okay, they are not in support of him anymore. So even the government he think he's campaigning for, or he's opening his mouth and rant like something else and speak as if he's talking about something that is supernatural that cannot be contained. So he should remember if the people turns their back and the something the government will turn back on him. Because all these celebrities, what they forgot is that when the people are not with them, even the government will not work with them. So they have to understand that all they have, and history will always have a way of falling back on them. What you do today is something that you see is happening to some people. Punishment will still come to each and every one of us. Each and every one of us that do whatever we did, history will have a way of coming back to us, alive, dead or alive. Because even if he thinks he will be dead when things will start coming back, so his children will bear the brunt. His grandchildren will also, because they will be looked upon as the children of that person who contribute to the worsening of the situation, who campaign for the worsened situation in the country. So who contribute to the ruination of Nigeria. So they should also remember this. So it's very important. So that's my take,
Yeah.
because many of them are
Very,
like
very,
this. Many of them are like
very, very. Yes, very, very important. Yes, many of them are like this. In fact, it is safe to say that 90%, over 90% of Nigerian celebrities are like this. And that is quite unfortunate. You know why it is unfortunate? Because, as I said, Maslow hierarchy of needs. For you to become a celebrity known by millions of people, that means you have attained the peak of your career. Number one, at that point in time, you are fulfilled, such that you command influence, and at that time
yes, but
you have
what I
level
think
of
is
wait.
that
1 minute. At that time, you have attained some financial independence also, such that you should be priceless. That nobody should be able to control you around because of money. That is on one side. On the other side, let's even assume that you can imagine me and you, Mr. Abdullahi, after 30 years of public commentation, or being a public commentator for 30 years, and still yet we are still influenced by money to such an extent that we sell our conscience and tell anybody that is in power that whatever nonsense that is doing, he should continue doing it. Any cause that any causes that the masses are reading on top, the person cannot work, regardless of whether or not that person is not performing. That is sad. For you to, at that level, you are still not financially dependent enough that you still depend on the million, like 3 million where they won't carry give you. Yeah, you have been working, you have been relevant for at least 30 years. You have been relevant for at least 30 years. That is unfortunate. And that means that we are in more bigger trouble than we think. And I think it is more reason for us to indeed, take our issues very, very seriously. So without further ado, and that will be that about Ogogo, because the video is quite a lengthy one. But this just highlights, we just believe that we can highlight this particular part so that our audience can see the degree of how rotten the system is. Let's just take that other article called, let me look at the name and give you feedback. Let me just let's look at the name and okay, so sorry.
I think we should go
So
to
that
the response to the Tibaba Ahmed.
I was about to ask you that should we go to response or we should take that other article? So let's
No,
go
we
to the
should take the
response, right?
response.
Response to Baba Dati
Yes,
Ahmed, right? Okay.
yes. And lastly,
Response,
in relation to the artists, Nigerian
yeah, proceed.
celebrities, to
Yeah,
me, what
proceed.
I think is that most of the things that are happening is also in relation to how they take to get to where they are. It's also something that we need to look at, because some of them, if you look at the process that took them to where they are, to the position they are, is something, and they also their lifestyle. They have a lot of lifestyle that them too sometimes they are running for justice. So they have to align with the reunion so that they will keep running for the justice, and they don't know that you can't run for justice away from the justice forever. One day the justice will catch up with you, because the highest form of justice is living this earth. So you will leave the earth, and history will not forgive you, because history is not human that can be manipulated or can be given money or induced by money or anything. History will still remember you for what you did and who you are in true sense of it. So most of them is because of their own personal interest most of the times, because of one or two things that they did, and they are trying to cover it up. So that's it. Just open the article, let's read it as time continues to go, because we are over 2 hours now. So I'll do the
Yes.
reading, then we'll do.
I think what we just have to do is let's do the summary. Okay. Let's do the summary.
Okay.
You can read the summary. Then
I think
after
if
every paragraph.
we can read it at least fast, because I
Okay.
think our
Okay.
producer also is interested in the article.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
can go ahead and do
Yeah.
it very fast.
Please proceed.
Okay, thank you. Just open it, please.
Yeah, wait, I'm about to share the screen. I'm coming.
Okay, thank you.
I will share the screen now. Let me just take this one out of the studio, then share the screen.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
So proceed.
All right. So this is a response. He said the title of the article, my response to the Tibaba Ahmed over my comment on ex-Nigerian military dictator Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida at 85. Compassion does not require historical amnesia. Dear Dati Baba Ahmed, yesterday at the National Peace Committee event, I met Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed, Dati Baba Ahmed, elder brothers and PPR chairman. I gently tapped him on the shoulder to say hello while he was standing with others. He immediately turned to me and, in the presence of his party presidential candidate, former Cross River State Governor Donald Duke, declared that he was my number one fan. We laughed about it, but he reinstated that he wasn't kidding. Donald Duke and I also exchanged a few words on the sidelines, including about something he has always enjoyed teasing me about, my advocacy for legalization of cannabis. Later, when all the presidential candidates gathered to sign the peace accord, Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed met me again. He handed me his business card and told me that no matter what I face, I should never change my position on social justice. Earlier today, I messaged him to thank him for his kind words at yesterday's meeting. He replied again, reassuring me of his admiration, and he asked whether I had read what his younger brother, the T. Baba Ahmad, had written in Daily Trust in sorry escalating me over my comment regarding former military dictator Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida on his 85th birthday. I hadn't seen the piece. When I told Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed that I couldn't find it online, he explained that it appears in the print edition of Daily Trust. I had now read the T response and I can only pity him. Instead of confronting the historical record of Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida dictatorship, the T chose to deliver a sermon about compassion while attacking me personally and attempting to whitewash a legacy that Nigerians have every right to interrogate. I have also been made to understand that the T belongs to that class of Nigerians whose fortune and opportunities were substantially shaped by the benevolence of the IBB era establishment. I learned today he was an ex-military man and probably one of the military officers who know as the Babangida's boys. Perhaps that explains some of the reverence. My own encounter with the tea was only once few for now, before now. Ironically, I also at a National Peace Committee event during the 2023 election cycle. I was seated in an area to differ an area deter the National Peace Committee attempt to separate those of us it did not consider frontline candidate from its preferred candidate. The T confront me, claiming I had not right to sit next to Peter Obi, his presidential candidate, because he was supposedly keeping the seat for him. I reminded the T that he, as a vice presidential candidate, has no superior claim to a seat designated for presidential candidate. Then APC candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu arrived and sat next to me. What happened next was revealing. The same Dati Baba Ahmed, whose ticket was campaigning fiercely against Tinubu and the APC, suddenly became extraordinarily differential. Uncle, sir, daddy, all in practically the same breath. He practically knelt down for Tinubu in my presence. I was stunned after all the furious rhetoric surrounding the election, particularly from the obedient movement against Tinubu and the APC. Here was one of its principal candidates displaying an astonishingly servile attitude toward the very political adversaries his supporters were being mobilized to defeat. When Mr. Peter Obi eventually arrived, the tea was moved to the back while I retained my seat, which was where I belong under the alphabetical seat arrangement. Interestingly, the same alphabetical principle I found for was finally respected at yesterday's event, but the spectacle did not end with the tea. When the event concluded, I watched Peter Obi himself displaying difference, similar difference towards Tinubu. I walked away, looked back at what was happening, and something became clear to me that is beneath the public political warfare, Nigerians established politicians are often far more comfortable with one another than their followers are encouraged to believe. Their supporters fight bitterly online and sometimes in the streets. They insult, threaten, and destroy relationships depending political figures who behind the curtains address one another as uncle, daddy, sir, brother, and friend. That experience stay with me and it provides useful context for the latest lecture about how Nigerians should treat members of the old political and military establishment. The records are there. Now let us deal with this his argument about General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, history, compassion, and accountability. I have read that this lengthy response to my comment about former military ruler Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida that he devoted considerable space to insult me, suggesting drugs, alcohol, prison, and even an ICU, while simultaneously delivering a sermon about compassion, morality, and human decency. The contradiction is difficult to miss. First, I did not attack Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida because he is 85 years old. My criticism was about his record in power and what his decision did to Nigeria. Age does not erase history. In fact, the world is replete with people facing punishment in old age for atrocities committed in their prime. Ill health does not confer political sainthood, and compassion for an elderly person does not require Nigeria to pretend that decision made while that person wielded enormous power had no consequence. I wish no illness upon Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, but I will not participate in rewriting history record simply because he has grown old. The T asks where Showore will be at 85. I do not even know if I will make it to 85. Nigerians' wicked leaders, including Ibrahim Babangida, have dealt heavy blows on my body and soul. However, whenever at my 85, Nigeria will have every right to examine what I did with whatever power or influence I possessed. If I betray the democratic will of Nigerians, they should say so. If I impoverish people through disastrous policies, they should say so. If I violate their rights, they should say so. If I leave behind institutions weaker than I found them, history should record it. If I kill journalists, if I killed journalist Delegiwa with a parcel bomb, I should be judged for it. If I am credibly implicated in crashing a plane full of junior army officers because I fear they might become ambitious and overthrow me, the public should interrogate and judge that record. That is accountability. The T lectures me about compassion while speculating about alcohol, drugs, prison, and ICU. He wrote that perhaps alcohol or drugs will destroy me. Politics might confine me to prison, or people might restrict me to an ICU. Then, almost in the same breath, he preached about humility. Apparently, his compassion extends to powerful former ruler, but disappear when dealing with political opponent. I have already experienced prison and detention because of my political belief and activism. That it does not need to fantasize about them for me. Then he described Babangida as a revered former Nigerian leader. Revered by whom? That he is entitled to revere him. Millions of Nigerians are equally entitled to remember his disastrous rules differently. History is not determined by the affection of political elite. Babangida himself has now acknowledged that MKO Abiola won the June 12, 1993 presidential election and has accepted the responsibility for decision taken under his watch. So what exactly is immoral about Nigeria remembering the consequence of that history? The T invokes Babangida's supposed rule in managing Nigerian political crisis. This is precisely the elite rewriting of history that I reject. A ruler cannot create or defend political crisis and then demand eternal gratitude for managing them. The June 12th election was not some minor administrative disagreement. Nigerians voted. MKO Abiola won. The democratic process was cruelly truncated for selfish reasons. Babangida himself now admits Abiola won. That is not my imagination. That is history. The T also speaks about Babangida's support for democracy. Democracy means respecting citizens' vote and their right to choose their leaders. You cannot annul Nigerian express democratic choice and then have your admirers have your admirers demand that history remember you precisely as a defender of democracy. The most elementary democratic principles in is that when citizens vote freely, their vote must count. The team mentioned that I criticized him in 2023 for calling Tinubu uncle. Yes, I did, and I stand by my principle behind that criticism. The fact that today you no longer stand with the toxic and fraudulent package political expression and company you kept in 2023 only reinforced my view about the deceptive nature of establishment establishment politics. Nigerian political establishment has spent decades turning public affairs into a family reunion. Uncle, daddy, leader, baba, your excellency, the culture of excessive differences to powerful people is one reason accountability remains so difficult. A president is a public servant, not my uncle. A former military ruler is a historical figure whose record must be interrogated, not a family not a family patriarch before whom citizens must kneel or gi- mm, genuine fact for. Sorry, the word here is giving me something. Genuflect. You want me to worship before the altar of your fallen god? I will not. Respect is earned, accountability is mandatory. The T says courtesy does not mean surrender. Fine, but neither does criticism mean cruelty. I wish I could separate respect for Babangida's humility from condemnation of his political record. But IBB record leaves me with little humanity to create. A man whose regime exalted his close friends, Mamambasa, after a coup trial cannot simply have that history erased by the passage of time. What I will not do is confuse respect for old age with surrendering historical truth. The thesis political disagreement should not make us lose our humanity. I agree, so apply that principle universally. Apply it to the poor, apply it to the protesters, apply it to the political prisoner, apply it to the worker whose livelihood have been destroyed by bad government. Apply it to young Nigerians whose future have been repeatedly squandered by leaders, celebrated at elite birthday parties. Humanity cannot become a doctrine reserved for powerful men when they become old. Adati Baba Ahmed says people like me seeking to rule Nigeria, the real danger. No, the danger to Nigeria is not citizens who refuse to worship former wicked ruler. The danger is a political culture nurtured by your types that repeatedly rehabilitates failure, protects privileges, and demands silence from anyone who refuses to participate. The danger is historical amnesia. The danger is treating powerful people as untouchable, while ordinary Nigerians bear the consequences of their decisions. My politics has never been about hatred of individual. It is about system. It is about accountability. It is about institutions that work for all citizens, regardless of class or social status. It is about refusing to accept that Nigeria must permanently rotate between the same political families, military era power brokers, their proteges, and their associates. I don't care whether the person responsible is 35, 55, or 85. If you exercise power, if you exercise public power, your record belongs to the public. Finally, you are free to respect Ibrahim Babangida. You are free to call official but uncle. That's Bola Ahmed Tinubu uncle. You are free to admire whichever member of Nigerian ruling establishment you choose, but don't demand that the rest of us surrender our memory in order to demonstrate compassion. We remember. We remember June 12th. We remember the Ligiwa. We remember military officers executed over alleged coup plot. We remember political detainees sent to rot in prison. We remember the killing. We remember the controversy surrounding the looting of 12 billion US dollars from the 1999 Gulf War oil windfall. We remember the structural adjustment program and the economic devastation Nigeria associated with. We remember the corruption. We remember the deception. We remember the self-styled evil genius and the political and the economic legacy his years in power left behind. We remember the endless transition program. We remember what military dictatorship did to Nigeria. And we will continue to interrogate the record of those who exercise enormous power over our country. Growing old is a privilege. It is not immunity from history. Nigeria must stop worshipping its rulers and start holding them holding them accountable. That is not hatred. That is how a serious country learns from its past and build a different future. Hashtag revolution now. So this is a response to the Tiba Bahamat former LP vice presidential candidates. Response by a current AAC presidential candidate Omoyole Shore. So thank you. That's the article. Sorry for my maybe mispronunciation of some words.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Just one or two. English is not our major language, so it's not a thing. You know, if now your language now you know pronounce well, now I go come for you. English, let it be English. So yes, you know, we have that article is very, very powerful by Omoyele Sowore, the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, and it's actually a revelation, all right, of waiting happen, all right, between himself and Dati Baba Ahmed, and of course Baba Ahmed's senior brother that he met at a particular event, and of course Dati Baba Ahmed wrote a piece that he did not even publish on social media. Sowore had to go get the physical copy, the hard copy of it on the newspaper, and he responded,
Yes.
setting the record straight. All right, because the article published by that Baba Ahmed was indeed just a sanitation or trying to whitewash history. All right, and Sowore was saying that Baba Ahmed has the right to reference and to worship the ground that Babangida walk on. That is fine. If you want to worship somebody, you have the right to do that. But you trying to rewrite history, you know, all of the atrocities of Babangida it is satanic. It is devilish for you to try to whitewash history. And that is very, very important. And this is what is called citizens' duty. We have a duty to indeed set the record straight and not just whitewash history. Whatever Tinubu is doing today, in 20, 30 years, there will be people that will want to whitewash that history. And there will also have to be people that should remind that generation at the time what actually happened during the time of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Nobody now will be saying, me, I will be alive now. You can imagine Mr. Abdullahi, in 30 years' time, some people will now be whitewashing. They will now be telling us that Tinubu is the best and the greatest president ever, that we were lucky to have him. And are you going to sit down and watch that? Are you not going to set the record straight as a public commentator?
That's the same thing I'm saying about Nigerian celebrities. What you did today will not be forgotten, even if because people are documenting, people are writing, social media is documenting, the internet is documenting. So we'll also go back to history. So whosoever is going to come and say all that is his own opinion, and we cannot stop him from saying his opinion, but history have to be said in clear terms. Your relationship with one person, that doesn't change history. The relationship of that person and how he used the opportunity that was given to him is what matters. Because you have personal relationship or personal close relationship with someone, or he did something, you alone cannot determine whether that person is good or, but his relationship with majority of the people is what matters. Because you can't say one is judged by one or two relationship with one or two people. No. If you are given office, how do you use the office? If you are given opportunity, how do you use the opportunity? How do you manage a situation that is at your own disposal? Because you becoming a leader, even at all strata of life, be it big or small, history will remember you for what you do with that office. So what Yele is saying is not something different. It's just setting the record straight. And nobody should go against anybody when he's saying the record straight. Yes, he is 85. Yes, but we have to. Okay, why is what are even people concerned about him being 85? Is because he was once in Nigeria. How many people are 85 in Nigeria? Who is he? All Nigerians' responsibility. He once ruled Nigeria, and Nigeria is at a mess now. What we have to ask, what are his contributions? And we always say this, that you are not a successful leader until your so the person that come next to you succeed. So to me, anybody that rules Nigeria since the beginning till now, I cannot say that they have succeeded, because the people that come next to them always perform worse. So them, it means that they did not do well. So it's a systemic issue, and we have to call them hold them to account. They contribute in one way or the other in taking us to where we are today. The mess, the road system that promote injustice, promote corruption, things that are not working for all of us. A country that we are all not proud of.
Yes, that is it. Systems. When you fail to build systems, all right, and you dwell on performance or your own individual performance, and not just that, you now ignore your atrocity. You can imagine $12 billion in 1991, 1992, 1993. 12 billion US dollars. Even today, that is a lot of money. Even today, over 30 years later, $12 billion is a lot of money. Yet,
if you
no
look back,
accountability.
learn in history, an entire economic of some nation around the world as
Yes,
of that time.
nations, not even nation. That is the budget of some nations.
No, it's
look
not
at
just
it now.
budget. The entire economy is calculated
Yes.
at, some of them are at 7 billion US dollars. But now
Yes.
someone is a 12 billion US dollar disappeared.
And the same thing happened during the Obasanjo era. $16 billion disappear. Now, you're now understanding that even under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, NNPC cannot account for over 210 trillion naira.
Now, if you compare this, then what's the present Nigerian economy? How many billion dollars are we? Then you tell us most of the money has been taken away by some few individuals.
Yes, that is the logical thing to conclude. And if it's not logical, then let them give us the account of how the funds were you and for what. Because if you have to tell the waiting you spend them on, where are the projects? Where are the infrastructure that you spent it on? On what?
And if you look,
210
you ask the
trillion?
question now, and if you ask the question, even the transition from the military to the civilian government in 1999, what was handed over? Does it mean that
Yes,
Nigeria has empty treasury when it was
and
handed
the fact
back? What we have to ask questions, but the people
too
are not
many,
asking
too
questions.
many, too
We
many
will just be
questions from
giving cock and bull
here.
stories, and we'll take it hook,
We just
line, and
move
sinker.
on. We just move on as if nothing. Somebody annulled a democratic election. You carry the all of the sweat and resources and the campaigning efforts, selling yourself. You carry all of that in put for inside dustbin. You cancel them. Millions of votes. Millions of votes. You disrespected and you defecated on the collective will of the people. And here is Dati Baba Ahmed, trying to whitewash and to pack, saying, trying to do PR for this kind of person. It is a shame. And it tells you the kind of elites that you have. This is a former vice presidential candidate of Mr. Peter Obi, who is currently now a presidential candidate. And of course, Mr. Peter Obi himself also did the same thing. He has all of these sweet words. He's calling him our father. Like, seriously? With this kind of history? Thank God for
Even
people like Showore.
even the relationship that he had with the current president is also
It is crazy.
something
And of course,
question.
you see, another disaster, another tragedy is this, that it is a Showore that is calling this out and not professors of history. Does that not blow your mind that it was Showore that is now setting the record straight, and we have professors of history in Nigeria across many universities? Does that not speak volumes about the quality of intellectuals you have in this country? That Baba Ahmed can write that kind of piece on a daily newspaper circulated across Nigeria. And it is
while he wrote
that is
on the newspaper, I think the reason why he wrote on the daily newspaper, the printed copy, is because many Nigerians will not have access to it. That's why he should have brought it to the social media where he will receive the actual. The social media is now like the court of public justice.
But newspaper is also a very large media. People still buy newspaper in their millions.
People still buy it, yes, but he will. But he is doing it. Why?
The demographic of those that buy newspaper are the elderly ones that do not like social media.
That's why. That's where I'm trying to go. That's where I'm trying to go. He is trying to keep it within the people that are within their own cronies, that will not still come and write a rebuttal, and he will still please the master he is trying to protect. So he is strategic. He is strategic in what he is doing.
That is very, very crazy, man. That is crazy. And of course, even Mr. Peter Obi's own, even if you are going to make a case for Dati Baba Ahmed, Mr. Peter Obi's own uncle that he put on social media, and nobody is challenging it. But it's fine. We have done well. We have spent 2 hours, 34 minutes in the studio. And yes, we still have many articles in stock for us to, and I believe today's show has been powerful and has been insightful. And well, once again, we still anticipate your feedback. All right, we anticipate feedback from all social media platforms, because again, we are building our platform such that at some point we no go even fit take comments and speakers on our platform, but we have to get started. Days of humble beginnings. All right, days where you have nobody viewing what you are doing. And we believe that commitment would take us to this level whereby at some point, the movement radio, whether we are here or we are not here, whether Mr. Ibukun is here, whether Mr. Abdullahi Salisu is here or not, at some point the movement radio will attain the level where it will be very interactive, to be very stimulating, and people will not be shy to pick up the mic. People will not be shy to drop their comments. So thank you so much to the 10 people watching us across board. We appreciate your contribution. And this is me signing out. And of course, telling you that look forward to our next show on Saturday by 5 p.m. Same station, same time. And we'll be poised to bring you some other very juicy topical matters of national interest. Passing the mic to you, our correspondent in Abuja, for your closing remark.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you to each and every one of you across all the social media platforms. We thank you for your loyalty. We thank you for your doggedness, for your resilience, for your sustainability, like coming always, your consistency. We respect that and we don't take that for granted. And your likes, your share, your subscribing, your comment, we don't also take that for granted. We want you to continue with the resilience. We want you to let's continue on the same vein. Let's continue sharing. Let's continue inviting. Let's continue discussing. This is a Nigerian project that we always see, and we say movement radio is the voice of liberation. All what we're after is let's liberate ourselves to as truly in true liberation, which means the liberation of the mind. So let's move, let's continue. Let's see ourselves on Saturday. And don't forget, if you miss the beginning, you can always replay. You can always go back to our previous episode. Listen and look at the consistency. Look at how we keep going. Look at how we keep doing it. You can't find it anywhere in any of the conventional media. So movement radio is the alternative, which will give you the opportunity to always get the right information. What will inform you, will educate you, will enlighten you, and will point you to the right direction. So tell one, tell two, tell three, tell four. Let's keep spreading the message. This is a Nigerian project. I remain Abdullahi Salisu from Abuja. Let's see you on Saturday. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye. See you next time. And keep being conscious. And we are the Movement Radio, changing narratives and empowering minds. Enjoy the rest of your day from wherever you are watching us from. Bye bye.